To our monitors, out of fire-ravaged Southern California shows a weather blessing and a weather curse. So rains came, that puts out fire, right? But along with that came concerns of mudslides and flooding. So in response, officials had to close part of the popular PCH, or Pacific Coast Highway, over worries, especially that one bridge could wash out. What you're seeing is just one of several mud flows in the Palisades Fire area. Multiple Malibu schools closed for the day. So let's listen in to our partners at CBS News Los Angeles breaking that news to their community from earlier this morning.
KCAL News reporter Tina Patel is live at Topanga Canyon Road in Malibu, where the rain has already caused quite a few problems. Tina, good morning.
Good morning. And the good thing is now it is clear this morning. The sun is coming up. It looks like it's a beautiful day. I want to show you this road closure behind me. This is PCH in Topanga Canyon. I was just talking to a fire official, and he said even though the road is closed to most people, he said yesterday there was such concern that there could be a mudslide or a road collapse here. They actually closed that road to emergency vehicles as well. So he said luckily there was no major problems here last night, but they really were taking a lot of concern. I want to show you some video from SkyCal yesterday evening. This is Topanga Canyon Road near Clifftop Way. You can see in the video all the charred hillside from where the Palisades Fire burned through earlier this month. There's just very little vegetation left on those hillsides, which is why it doesn't take much rain or moisture for that land to give way. Now, fortunately, because this stretch of Topanga Canyon has been closed since the fire, the only vehicles nearby when there was some movement belonged to utility crews. We didn't hear about anyone being injured in this slide. But I also want to show you what it looked like when we flew over Palisades Drive yesterday. Crews were working to move water and mud out of the roadway there. Public Works crews have been preparing for this wet weather. They've been clearing storm drains, installing concrete barricades and sandbags to funnel any water or mud that does come down. But people who live in this area admit they are still on edge.
Well, we're worried about the hill that's been defoliaged and the mud and coming down and taking out the properties that we just saved from the fire. And the collapsing bridge is a new concern. There's a ravine right there. You can see where the two mountains come together, and tons of debris. And then they were clearing the drain out this morning that had filled up, and it's definitely a concern.
And the fire official I was talking to this morning said this is going to be a concern for a while, because even though we got through this wet weather system, he says our rainy season is typically not till February. Last February, he said we had a number of storms move through, and we didn't have the burn scars that we have now. So he said we got through this storm. He's feeling good, but he goes, we all have to remain on alert, and crews are going to continue to have to work to try to protect these hillsides because we don't know what's coming in the weeks to come. I'll send it back to you.
All right, we will keep watching. Tina, thank you.
Our thanks to our partners there at CBS News Los Angeles. So let's keep the conversation in California and another concern, and that is insurance. So California lawmakers introducing a bill targeting big oil companies to pay for high insurance costs anticipated after the California wildfires. So here's what California State Senator Scott Wiener had to say about that bill and how it would work. Listen.
It'll allow people who are harmed to be able to sue fossil fuel companies to recover for the harm caused to them, their home burned down, whatever the case may be. And it will also allow insurance companies to sue fossil fuel companies to recover for what they're paying out, so that the increased cost doesn't get entirely passed along to insurance policyholders. So that's the gist of the bill.
So that will take a long time to work out. But what we know right now is that down in Southern California, the rain that came down, you can just see the mudslides, and amidst that mud, just that black soot from all the destroyed homes.
I know, it's stressful. And, during this time of year, at least the past 2 years, forecasting backwards now, you saw atmospheric river after atmospheric river hit the coast of California. Right. That was the big weather story for them. But it had nothing to do with fire weather conditions. So let's zoom out real fast. I want to pull up the map just below Reed and myself. What you're going to see in just a second is the storm that's still in Southern California that's slowly moving its way across to Arizona and all the way over into New Mexico as we head into our Tuesday and Wednesday forecast. But it's still lingering down there right now. And so I want to forecast this a little bit further out. Taking a look behind me, here's what we're expecting. Showers still in the forecast from San Diego County up into Los Angeles. Areas like Malibu received over 2.5 inches of rain so far, and we're continuing to add to that. Los Angeles, just at the LAX airport, close to around an inch there. Now, this exact same area of low pressure will wring out the rest of its moisture over the mountains close to Arizona, all the way up into the Four Corners and over into New Mexico into the next couple days. And with that, we could see moderate to heavy snow widespread throughout these communities, lasting until Thursday. Another thing to mention, too, we head back to Southern California. This is what we're still anticipating, closer to around 1/10 of an inch in areas like Wrightwood, all the way up into those higher elevated areas close to Barstow. They're anticipating some rain, too. Along the coast, it is starting to clear up, though, but we still hold on tight to flood watches and warnings, or at least watches, as we head into the evening hours tonight. We're going to continue to watch that expire. Another big weather story for us. It's a little different, and it's on the opposite end of the coast, but we continue to keep a close eye on our community members over close to Maine, New Hampshire, and all throughout the Northeast right now. Just offshore of New Hampshire, there was about a 3.8 magnitude earthquake earlier this morning, reported around 10:22. That shook some of us all the way over into Boston and those communities surrounding it. I'll have more on that coming up in a bit, but Reed, lots of things to report. That earthquake was definitely not expected on the East Coast side.
Yeah, right. People in Maine saying, what was that?
No, they're probably thinking this is California stuff. And Californians are like, what is this rain and snow that we're talking about?
Mother Nature keeping us guessing.
Flipping them, yep.
Jess, thank you so much.